Hi, everybody. I'm going to present my talk, Online Textual Modeling. How far can it go? I want to stand up. For those who don't know me, I'm a general manager of PlugBee, a company I created almost 1 year ago after 4 years working for IDEs. I have also a background in IT. I have contributed by the past to some Eclipse projects, Sphinx and Kit Alpha. And now I'm contributing to EMF Diff Merge mainly, and in the near future in the Eclipse remote application platform. So in PlugBee, we offer mainly service in model-driven engineering, plugin development, of course, and research and development. We support our customers in their research project and carry out our own research in the area of modeling and the web. We also offer support in those technologies, mainly EMF ecosystem. What we are dealing with today is an old problem, is the fact that rich client applications are by definition not intended for collaboration. You have to deploy your applications on per user basis. A lot of features, a lot of installations, so this is a common problem. And on the other hand, you have the emergence of new trends related to the web and cloud IDEs. Because the web, of course, offers new use cases, like collaboration. It allows to access models easily with any device. At least it's the promise. And of course, there are new use cases that are emerging, like e-learning, for example, and gamification. And in this talk, I will focus on gamification and e-learning. So I started this project, DSL Forge, after a famous April joke done by a colleague in IDEs in 2012. It was about an integration of XText and wrap. And yeah, it was a fake. And the pitfall was a widget called the styled text widget that was very hard to migrate because it's very complex. And the more you go deeper in the code, the more it seems like C, not even Java. A lot of adherence to the RCP stuff. And yeah, when I see that video, I said, this is exactly what I need to do. I was attracted by the challenge, and I started defining a methodology on how to get this integration of XText and wrap. So I sketched 5 steps. Let's say you create an XText project, you generate the artifact, the RCP artifact, then you generate the web artifacts, you switch from the IDE target to the remote application platform target, and then you launch the application. And I set up a very naive state machine. Very simple. The idea is to mirror the behavior of the server on the client side to avoid the turnarounds, because the problem was the amount of turnarounds you have. If you rethink the styled text widget in wrap, think of it as if each time you make a modification, you have to notify the server, and some stuff is running on the server, so validation, etc. So the idea is very simple. You start, your resources lie in the server, you load them, and then you start editing. And we needed somehow a way to have this syntax validation parsing done on the client and at the same time on the server. Not really at the same time, in fact. It's this synchronization here that delegates to the server. So you can synchronize on text modify, for example, or you can synchronize on text save, and you have on the server the XText features, like all the features we know, syntax validation, content assist, etc. And to make this real, I started looking deeper in XText and what it generates. In fact, when you define your language, there is, in fact, two grammars that are generated, one in the runtime plugin and one in the UI plugin. So the one in the runtime plugin is the regular parser, and you have a second one in the UI plugin, which deals with content assist. But these are, and from these grammars, you have AMTLA grammar. The parsers are generated. So I said, okay, I will extract the AMTLA specification, and from the same specification, derive this parser and lexer on the client and on the server. And I started benchmarking the textual editors, which run with JavaScript, and I found that ACE was a good candidate. So to be able to do that, we need at least to generate some GS script. So you have the parser and lexer, you have the ACE base editor, and then you have two scripts that customize ACE for the language. So of course, what is generated at the end, it's more than that, but this is the core idea. So when I started implementing this, I fell into a dilemma. So in the IT world, at least there is a common agreement on the fact that web applications are of two types. Let's say you have static web applications are applications that run mostly on the client side. These are mainly HTML and JavaScript. So you use JavaScript as a virtual machine somehow on your browser. And you have also dynamic web applications. These are applications that interact heavily with the server. So you have some centralized processing. So at this point, I said, okay, we will take both ways. So I built this tool called DSL Forge. And the idea is to take as input AMTLA specification or XText. So from AMTLA, you have your first path that will generate an ACE editor customized for the language. Here you don't have EMF on the backend. Everything is running on the client. And on the other side, from XText, you generate a web plugin. And then, because it's based on wrap, it can be integrated with other AirWT components, like workspace and property views. So now I'm going to show you some use cases. We have developed a coding game based on Eclipse wrap. So this is a workbench, in fact, but everything has been hidden just to keep the minimum. So you have a game Canva. By the way, the game is available online. You can, people are using it. You can connect if you want and start playing with it. So we defined the DSL, very simple, something like logo. You instruct to a robot how to move, and the objective is to guide him to this cross mark. So when I click on play, there is a JSON file on the server that is generated from the model. And this JSON file is a flat sequence of numbers that goes into a game engine. And it is loaded in the Canva. And the Canva renders the movement of the robot, the sequence of actions. So I'm going to show you some features of the language. So, for example, here, I think, so we have syntax highlighting. This is the client-side parser who is leveraged. I guess it's two. No. Yeah. So the objective is to teach children how to think computationally like it's the way in other games, like Logo, thinking about Logo here. Let's go to more. Yeah, here, for example, we have a warning, which is in fact an XText validation rule. So here it's the validation on the server that is leveraged. It says you should include dig at the end of the program. Okay. Let's see. So we can instruct him to jump. So you have also text hovering. Then I guess, right, 4, then fight, then right 2, and this. No, it should be right 3. Oh. All right. Then we can go to more complicated levels. Today there are only 5 levels that has been implemented. But yeah, we're intending to go further in this direction. The language can then be more complex. So here, for example, we have instructed, there is a repeat keyword. The idea is to learn how to set up loops. Conditional expressions are not handled for the moment, and so on. So we have more complicated. So here you have to repeat, I guess, 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Yeah, then you jump up, fight, and then you end up here, and then yeah, the repeat instruction goes on. All right. Now I'm going to show you how we built this language with DSL Forge. And for this, I'm going to show you one of the 2 paths I have shown you, so the XText wrap integration. First, I will create a XText project. Let's take the state machine example. Step 2, I will generate the RCP artifact. All right. Now I will choose to generate a web editor from the specification. I load the XText grammar. And I keep the default settings, meaning I want to generate for this language remote application platform target and the Maven build. The Maven build will output a web application archive that we can deploy on a serverless container. So we see here, this is the UNTLA grammar extracted from the XText specification. You see the similarity between XText and UNTLA. Of course, XText is more than UNTLA, but here we only extract the information we need to be parsed by UNTLA parser. So there is a main difference is that we target JavaScript. Just to say, we want to generate JavaScript parsers. Okay. And you see that the generated web plugin doesn't compile because it needs the remote application platform target. We have a target generated here, but I think it will take a while. For this reason, I have the exact same target locally, so I will use this one. And now you see that the UI plugin doesn't compile because the dependencies are no longer satisfied, while the web plugin compiles. So we see that here in the web plugin, you have a lot of stuff generated. You have the XText content assist that is normally generated in the UI plugin, but it's now generated in the web plugin, so you can proceed the same way you proceed with the classical RCP scenario. You have this text widget that has the information related to this generated editor. So you have the scripts that are generated, that are loaded. Thanks to wrap, we can set them from Java. Okay. And we can already test the editor. Here I have a workspace with some examples, but I will focus on this one because I have in my workspace generated only the editor for this, for state machine. So this is a bug, normally should not be dirty at this point. So you have a basic workbench application based on wrap, and you have already the editor integrated in it. It interacts with the property view and interacts with this workspace component. So you can see the features of the editor. So here it's the XText content assist that is invoked from the client. Undo redo support. Yeah, you have, because ACE comes already with a lot of features that are easy to customize, and what we do is we leave them, most of them in the default, and we customize only what is specific to the language. Okay, now I will build the web application, and for this I'll go into this generated Maven project. So there is a product definition here which contains the web plugin and the main runtime plugin of XText, plus other components like the styled text widget and some default, some other components that are packaged into a target. These are called the DSL Forge runtime, meaning the target components at the end. So if I refresh here, I have this valuable war file that I can deploy instantly on Tomcat. I have two Tomcat instances here. I will stop this one because they, in fact, they interact with the same workspace, and just to avoid deadlocks, we'll shut down the other one. And simply, I will copy this war and put it in web app. All right. So the main difference when you deploy on Tomcat is that you have to prepend with the name of the war. So here should be state machine text editor. And that's it. So we have the same editor, the same workspace. Here we see the same projects. But yeah, the difference is that the first time we debugged under Eclipse and the second time it's deployed. Let me show you some other examples of DSLs. I have, there is a live demo on dslforge.org where you can have this exact application and you can play with, and it's publicly available. So I have this text editor war here, which is an aggregation of all the examples, so that we can test them all at the same time. And just to be confident, we'll clear the cache. Okay. So here should be text editor twice. So you have the name of the war, then the servlet path. Okay. Here I wanted to show you also some other features that are bound by default. So in fact, the generator will put, the DSL Forge generator will put the XText features, migrate them to wrap. So you have a lot of features that are packaged as is, like, as I said, content assist, syntax validation, and also code generation. So here we are simply using the generator that is provided by default with the example. This is the Pirate Robot language. So here we have the instructions that we have entered in the coding game, and we can generate, this is the JSON file. So This is the translation of the model written at the extent. I can go through other features also. Here, this is the XText linking that is invoked from the client. Let me show you some other examples of the features what you have here. So here, there is no definition of C. It doesn't find D, let's say. And now we have warning. So these are the XText check. This is the XText check framework that is invoked. Let's open some other example. Here we have the arithmetics example. Here it's the XText interpreter that is invoked and says that there is an issue with the definition. Yeah. Let me get back now to the presentation. I will simply here iterate through the principle of this coding game. You have the kid. There is a game engine here. So when the kid selects the level, the editor is initialized and the game Canva renders the level. Then we start in the editing mode. And here you have all this interaction with the server. When he clicks on play, you got there is the it gets the model, generates the instruction, then feeds the game Canva, and the game Canva displays the actions. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the roadmap for this very young project. Okay, it's not, it's still not mature, let's say, version 0.9, compatible with Neon packages, RAP 3.1.0 and XText 2.10. We are looking for new use cases. Of course, we need to validate the approach and other use cases. We have some interesting ones. For example, there is one related to AutoSAR standard, the specification of embedded system, OS. We are also playing with Modelica for e-learning, just to display modeling tools, kind of basic modeling tool, and to learn how to code with Modelica without having installed all the stuff. We have also a cool use case which will be demonstrated during the next Models conference. Here it's for program chairs. They want to have a DSL, and from this DSL they want to generate the conference program. So expect us. We are also interested in mixed modeling. There is a porting of GEF on RAP. It's still in incubation. We think, yeah, it could be a good starting point for this. So GEF, and then you have GMF. This is problematic a bit, but yeah, we are open. Should it be serious or graffiti? It's open. We also thinking about integrating this stuff with cloud IDEs. There is this dirigible, a cloud IDE based on Eclipse RAP, and it is in the pipe now. We have started this integration, and it should be contributed in the near future. So the styled text widget that has been developed is going to be contributed to the Eclipse RAP incubator. And we also explore other architectures and protocols, because when you deal with IT, there is the trends are moving fast. There are a lot of technologies, protocols, and APIs, and Yeah, now we have, for the dynamic aspect, we have focused on Eclipse Wrap, but we don't exclude other technologies, just to cover other use cases, other scenarios. And of course, a lot of bug fixing and enhancements. So, DSL Forge is not intended to be the tool for textual language in general. I think there are tools that behave better than this. But we focus on the web, cloud IDEs and web applications. To get the source code, you have the link here. Go to GitHub. You can also report on issues there. There are some live demos. On DSLForge.org, you have this exact workbench that I've shown you here. The game is available on codingpark.org. You have 2 update sites. If you want to generate the editor, point to the tooling and the target components, unless if you have a custom target platform and you want to point to the runtime plugins, then you can use it, but don't install it in your IDE as it will crash it. Yeah, that's all. Thank you. So if you have questions.
This is not an Eclipse project?
No.
What is the license?
EPL. Yeah. So I can get the code from here and also from the update side, no problem with that. The game is not open sourced yet because I developed it with a colleague and yeah, it's under decision. But if you are interested in, if you have some use cases related to e-learning, gamification, or things like that, we can provide you the code source, the source code, if you want. Yeah.
Do you have a timeline on the graffiti or series?
Not concretely now, but looking for, yeah, it's better to have fundings for this. Yeah, but with graffiti there is I think a migration to wrap, some problems with the EMF transaction UI, but yeah, it can be afforded.